Go to hell, LSU.
Said it's our year, baby.
I got all the information. Call me next week.
Back, T-Bone?
All the
Right.
way. All the way.
We are back.
All right, baby, we back.
Damn, it feels
man,
good.
it feels so good to be back. Get a little 2-week break, but before we get into it, as always, y'all please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Boys in the Sip. We started TikTok, so please go. Everything's at Boys in the Sip. TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff, and we changed up the scenery a little bit. We came to Wee Wee's place, warehouse, Screen Kings, where
My home away from home.
home away from home, and we're right here in the warehouse. We got, as y'all can see, the merch. We got a ton of merch. We put a little bit up, and we're trying to get it organized. It's all back here. Little 2-week break to try to kind of get this stuff organized and
before Christmas.
clear our heads. And during that break, we had a couple golf matches.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about those. We're going to talk about this, what Kiffin and Golden are doing in the portal. We're going to talk a little bit about the bowl games and just kind of chit-chat. This is a season finale till next year.
Yep.
And, just kind of tell y'all what we're going to be doing next year and, how we've been learning from day one. And and Travis the same way, just trying to do the best we can do and just get better.
Yeah, it's been a fun-ass couple months.
Man, it's been so fun, man. It's, we both love it, man.
Yeah.
And it's just like when we're sitting here, it's, we've been best friends forever, and it's just something we love to do.
Trav loves it too.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
grinning into ear to ear.
I can't get enough.
Yeah. So, that's kind of what we're going to be doing on this show, and then we're going to be getting ready for Christmas.
Yeah.
So
It's here, man.
It's here. We both, it's a lot. We both got kids. You got 4. I got 2, and but it's a good time of year, and both of us love spoiling our kids, so I can't wait.
Santa Claus is in
Santa
town.
Claus and do all that, and we know what Christmas is all about, and try to teach our kids about that, and it's more than just gifts, but I love spoiling them.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, well, I was gonna say what we've kind of done for the past couple of weeks. We had our big golf match after the last episode.
Yep.
And we played Z Money and Wisey. We went out to Deerfield and played a shamble.
Yep.
And Wee and Z Money had to play the back tee, and me and Wisey played the up tee, and played a shamble, which is both of you hit a drive, and you get to play the best drive, and then you both have to play your own ball in from there and take the low score.
Yep.
We had to give them
a stroke on 6 and 17.
We had to give them a stroke on 6 and 17. I really didn't like it.
That kind of ended up being the difference in the match. Basically a 2-stroke difference.
Yeah, it was a great match. We put the video out, and it was that's kind of the things we're going to be doing. Now we're going to amp up the videos.
Yeah.
Where they're longer, where it's more me and you talking a lot, the people talking about what, a lot more what's going on. That was just kind of a clip to kind of show y'all what we're going to do with this golf.
Yeah.
Because
the other 4 or 5 matches have been plus 5 handicappers.
Oh, man.
Shooting 11, 12, 13 under, back and forth.
No doubt.
A lot of birdies.
But that match, it was tight. The whole, we had to start on 4 because there was a group out there that had a big group. And so we jumped in front of them, started on 4. And we, both teams, birdieing out of the gate. And
Zach played good.
Zach played really good. And then
I got off to a good start. I didn't finish great.
Yeah,
I just stopped making birdies.
I hadn't played in forever, since August, and
you played
I
real
hit
good
the
that
ball unbelievable. I can't remember. I made 3 or 4 birdies, and just hit the ball great. They couldn't get some putts to go down.
It's weird how that first round back you always play way better than those next couple rounds. You start getting worse and worse. You start thinking
no doubt.
more.
You start thinking more, and you know me, I think.
Yeah.
And out there, I just wasn't thinking. I was hitting the ball great, and I say the match changed. We went ahead. We pressed after number. What we pressed after number 12. And then tied a couple, and then that number 15. I said, I'm hitting drivers, a little short par 4, and just you got 10 yards down there, and I piped it right there in the neck. As Biggie would say,
right in the neck.
It hit it down in the neck. I hit it right down in the neck, and I knocked it up there for a gimme birdie, and they both missed.
Yep.
Probably 10, 12 footers.
We flipped the mat.
We flipped it, and then I'm feeling like we're fixing to flip them on 16, par 5, and we're at Deerfield. And
that ended that wind.
Yep.
Howling on that hole.
And Z-Money, there's trees that you got to go over. Z-Money hit the most unbelievable 4-iron from 220 over top of those trees. And I'm like,
it looked like it was a
Wisey was out of the hole. And I'm like, me and you are perfect.
Yeah.
You hit a perfect drive.
Yeah.
We got
like 192.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, here we go. We're fixing to win this, which we kind of forgot he gets a stroke on 17, so we definitely need to win it. Well, Z-Money hit that shot, and we both hit great shots, but we pulled them just a little, and that wind kind of carried, and they both of them went in the water.
Oh, yeah.
We just gave them the hole, and we lose 17. And anyway, from there we tied every hole coming in. I did have to grind on number 2.
That was a huge putt to tie.
Huge putt to tie. And,
on a press.
And then we could have got even with them on the last hole if we would have made that putt, and your putt looked unbelievable.
Yep.
But that was the match, and then we were saying let's just take a little break from the podcast, and we went and played a match at Mossy Oak, and I think that match I did not need to be in. No. I mean we were playing 2 boys from Mississippi State, just unbelievable golfers, and they're so good. That's all I can say.
Yep.
That's all I can say. And it was a great match. I love Mossy Oak, but it's a place where you have to know the golf course.
Yeah, a lot of blind approach shots.
Yep. And we said we messed up. We should have played them at Old Waverly.
No doubt.
And we were going to play them the next day, but we had already taken a beating pretty good at Mossy Oak, and we said let's think about this. We'll do it again.
Yeah.
So, and then besides that, I went and did a little hunting. We were doing the hunting in the SIP, so might as well. I went for about 3 days to the Conservation League, and it's over the levee, close to where I'm, from, Clarksdale. And man, it was good to get out in the woods. And I text you, and we were thinking about maybe doing a podcast. We were, on the verge. I'm like, man, can't these deer, they're rutting, man. They're like moving around like I only hunt one time a year.
Yeah.
I don't know why. The good hunters I understand, but I'm like, I'm gonna hunt when the bucks are being stupid, running around chasing women.
Oh yeah.
They're easy. That's the only time I hunt. And I got a good buddy, Braz's brother, who's an unbelievable hunter. He's like, it's gonna be the best week of the year. So I was like, all right, I'm in.
Yep.
So I took off, and I killed me a good one.
You did.
He messed up, and he's sniffing around looking for women, and it was a good one. So that was good just to clear your head.
Yeah.
So I know you've been busy and trying to catch up here, and because Wee has he prints for a lot of people. And it's a busy time of year.
Yeah.
So just trying to catch up. In Christmas time, you got 4 kids. When they get out of school, they got out last
week.
Yeah. So
then my food business is crazy this time of year.
Yeah.
Because all my customers are busy right now, even though everybody's shut down.
Yeah.
So and then get way ahead.
Yeah, and a lot of that spice. Yeah, we're gonna start doing. Wee does spice.
Boom.
And so Boyz in the Sip spice. We'll kind of I've posted a little bit about it, but a lot of customers that he deals with send those to their customers. You can label it however you want, but we're going
to, and it's private label.
Yeah, it's really good spice.
Mm-hmm.
that garlic butter right there.
Gift sets are on sale.
Yeah,
online.
I got the gift sets online.
Get you some of that garlic butter.
And we're gonna start doing any orders over 150. You get a free gift set.
Yep.
We're gonna start doing that. And so that's kind of what we've been doing. And I was playing poker Saturday night, and a buddy texts me, and he's like, I think you need to do this.
Yeah.
He's like, I want commission though. and I mean,
they're selling like crazy.
Kiffin's the president, man. He's president of college football.
El Presidente.
El Presidente. I mean, they are killing this portal, man.
I know.
They are killing it, and we're going to talk about some of the portal. And I've had people reach out, like, man, we want talk about the portal, talk about all these players and this and that, and me and you. And I'm like, yeah, I understand. That's what some people want to hear that, and they want to know like the exact players, the exact details, and it's really not mine and your style.
No.
Like I get it.
We're not here to be a sports radio show.
Yeah.
Like
like whatever happens. We're not gonna have any effect.
We have a list of who we got right here.
Yeah, and we'll get into it.
And we got some ballers coming in, but I mean, everybody that's listening to our podcast knows who we got.
That's right, and you're gonna know eventually. I mean, like Nolan from Texas A&M. I think we landed him. I think
we did.
But you still don't know until
Correct.
Okay. But anyway, so I'm sitting there going, yeah, we can talk about that, and I can study it and do all that, but what's it really matter when it doesn't? When it's finalized, boom, then we know.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when we bet on a football game. It's like I don't have to know the players' names and stuff. I'm more of a feel guy and watching and stuff like that. So we're going to talk about it. But the main thing is they're the Portal Kings.
Yeah,
He is the Portal King, and we are killing it.
Killing it.
And, I'm sitting there. I text, the group this morning. I'm like, Keith Carter probably, when you think about what's going on at Ole Miss, he has to be, it has to be a lot going on because of him.
He gets it, man.
Look,
yeah.
We've won a national championship. Baseball, women's golf. We've gone 10-2 twice now in the last, 3 years?
Mm-hmm.
We just got a lot going on.
Look at the basketball team right now. We're undefeated.
We got Beard. That's exactly where I was going with this.
That we talked about it on the forum the other night, and we're going to do a little bit more deep diving into the top programs, 3 coaches, but name 3 coaches that are better than our 3 in the top sports.
I don't think you can.
I love it.
Don't think you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good.
Which is a good starting point for us.
That we got 3, and Beard is. We've been saying it. I've been saying it because our buddies told us. We got a $8 million basketball coach for $3 million, and they're going to have to probably amp that up.
Yeah,
but
we will.
And we will.
Yeah,
but he's all about this build the culture.
Yeah,
and it's not just the basketball building the culture, and the SIP is building a culture.
Yeah,
and that's what they're doing. And I hope we can just keep this together. And building a culture doesn't mean, that's it goes beyond just performing on the field.
Yes,
it's off the field. It's everything that you do builds that culture.
Correct.
And that's what I think. I know Beard because dude, that guy. Just look at our basketball team.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable. We're gonna get into that, but with the portal, we had 12. We had 12 players leave, and
nobody significant. Except the kicker.
The kicker. You were talking about the kicker.
He may come back though.
Yeah.
Just because they enter the portal doesn't mean they're gone.
Yeah.
There's been the Georgia quarterback entered the portal, already came back to Georgia.
Yeah.
So you don't know if they're going to come back or not. They have that option.
I just wonder why he would.
He might be trying to get money.
Yeah. No doubt.
Shit. Why else would you?
Mm-hmm.
He's playing.
He's good.
Yeah.
And a good kicker is so important, man, especially in tight, good games.
No doubt.
And you saw Kiffin used him a little more. He kicked a little more this year, I think, in certain situations.
We've been in almost take for granted for a while now. Every time we send the field goal kicker out, it's going in.
Yeah.
I hadn't said they've been nervous.
Mm-mm. And he can boot it.
And as long as I can remember.
He can boot it. Do you see the Dallas Cowboys kicker?
No, I didn't watch.
Is it the Dallas Cowboys?
NFL,
I hadn't watched. I mean, I think it is.
Brandon Aubrey.
Is that him?
The soccer player?
The soccer player. He hadn't missed this year.
I have him on my fantasy team. He's solid.
It's unbelievable. He is not. What is he, like 35 or 35 or something?
I don't know the exact.
These are field goals. And booting them 60, 50. He's the first player to ever do 59, 64, something like that.
59 and 60.
59 and 60 in the same game.
Jesus
I mean,
Christ.
these kickers, for just a soccer player.
Yeah.
You know, but
because most of these new stadiums are domes on turf.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You don't have that outdoor factor in that many stadiums left anymore.
That's right. Well, I hope our kicker comes back. But the top one, you know, is Nolan, and from Texas A&M, and he's defensive line, bad man.
And we've already locked in the two edge guys from Florida and Tennessee.
Yeah,
the 10 and 11 ranked.
Yeah,
transfers.
I can't pronounce some of these
weird
names,
name
man.
that guy
Princely from Florida. Can't pronounce his last name. Then we got Tyler Barron from Tennessee.
So that's 3 of the top 11 transfers or defensive linemen. We got them. So that's like we talked about. He's going to fill the holes in, and we already had a pretty decent, defensive line.
Yeah.
And so offensive line, I think, is the one position that you got to have experience with a group working together and have, 8 or 10 deep because you get guys hurt. So I don't think the transfer portal is that huge on O-line. I think that's more about just using who you've had. They know the scheme, get them stronger, working together. You want that line to have that continuity.
No doubt.
To me, the transfers that's huge. Who we're picking up, skill players, quarterback, which we already had.
Yeah.
And then the defensive line, man.
And then getting these receivers.
We got to get big. We got to keep getting bigger. Like I'm talking about weight bigger. Like Ole Miss has never been big. This year we finally looked out there. It's like, damn, man, we're big.
Yeah. Until we played Georgia.
They weren't exactly super skilled per se, but I mean Georgia and Alabama we've talked about is a different animal.
That's right.
But we're coming on the players. The SEC is going to all have them soon. They're not going to go sit out at Georgia.
It's this portal to me, which is now it's a different ball game with money, but the players still want to go somewhere where they know it's going to be a good team. And right now, I mean, hey, we lost to Georgia and Alabama at their place.
Yeah,
okay.
It's a combination of a good team and getting to play or having a chance to play. It's just like me coming out of high school, going to play college golf as a top player. You're still looking, where am I going to play right away?
Yep.
And are they good?
That's right.
They didn't have to be great, because you're thinking, I'm going to make them better. Who's coming with me? Who's coming back? Who do y'all got? What's the game plan? You kind of see.
Yes.
And so as long as you're pretty good, but that's the two main things.
Yeah, and everybody's coming back.
Yeah.
And you got Kiffin.
Correct.
So who Kiffin is, I mean, he's an NFL guy. There's no doubt. So he gets it. And that's because that's what this has become, just a small NFL.
I think Alabama and Georgia's of the world are going to have a harder time keeping guys okay with being a backup. Like they sit on the bench for a year, they're gone.
Portal.
They're not going to just trust, you're there this year. It's still going to be that. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that's going to hurt the top teams. You got a chance for these mid-level guys to catch them now.
Yeah.
Especially with the playoff expansion. Conference realignment.
Yeah, I mean, it was like the guy from Texas A&M, Nolan. He's sitting over there. All right, they got a new coach coming in. They ain't been good.
Correct.
He's like, I don't want to wait on that.
I'm sick of losing.
Yeah, I don't want to wait on that.
Yeah.
I know Ole Miss has a badass quarterback, a badass coach, and some of these other players are going there.
Yeah.
And he said, why wouldn't you? And how much money you going to give me first?
Yeah.
And, and they might not, some of them, I would think, be like, okay, I'll take maybe a little less, but I'm going, and I'm going to be able to show out.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And so I think that's kind of, what's happening. I mean,
it's especially for the skill players. I mean, remember A.J. Brown flipping from Bama, coming out of Starkville? He came to Ole Miss to go play with other good receivers.
That's right.
He had all those recruits coming in. He's like, man, I know I'm going to get better stats over here.
Mm-hmm.
And then he didn't want to go to Bama because he was like, am I going to even start right away? They got all these guys coming back. This other 2 5-stars have already committed.
Mm-hmm.
He was a 4-star, not a 5.
Yep.
And he went straight for he knew he was going to get the stats and start right away as a freshman. Granted, anywhere he'd have gone, he'd end up being the man. Now that we've seen how good he actually is.
No doubt.
But that's just proof right there. Like you said, they want to go get that stat line too. I mean, they want to make sure they can go play where they can get the stats.
That's right. Juice Wells from South Carolina. I mean, come on. You got they want Dart. Look, I got Dart and Kiffin. I mean, why not? Man, it's just that's what I've been sitting here trying to think, how are we doing this? And that's how.
Yeah.
It's not just we're paying them through the we might be, but that's something
it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
That's not
we will have a look if we don't get injured and all that, which you never know. I promise you we're going to have a look next year.
Oh, yeah.
And,
I mean, you see with the way the basketball tournament goes every year. I mean, once you get down to that tournament, anything can start happening because it becomes just a matchup thing. And they're all got talent.
But you think about it, who else? Who else? I mean, Bama's not. There's not going to be. You're going to have Georgia, but there's nobody out there that's doing what we're doing.
So how long has the transfer portal been going on, like in full throttle? Just a couple years now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now this was the first year where there's not just 4 really good teams. It was a true debate, like 6, 7 deep. So
right.
I don't think the trend ever reverses back. It was always a couple really good ones.
That's it.
Even all the way back to the old days, man, like Florida State, Notre Dame, Miami, all those runs, it was like no great, just 3 or 4 really good ones.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? So now I think you see it go 12, 15, 20 deep of like just – I mean, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I really think that's where it's headed.
And that's why I don't watch NFL anymore. I mean,
you can't.
I mean,
me and Joey were talking about it earlier. I was like, man, can you even make it through a game? It's gotten bad.
It's bad, man. And I hate it because
I even want to watch some stuff to bet. Like, that's why I don't even hardly bet on it anymore because I can't watch it.
Yeah.
So then I can't do the mind study part of it.
Yep.
And, doing where we're building off a game and watching it. I'm like, I can't do it, man. The first half flies. It's like 3 possessions both ways and then a couple flags here, a couple flags there. It's just gotten bad, man.
And they're doing just like, it's all of them, but they're trying to shorten the game so much. Halftime's like 8 minutes. Like, you can't even go to the bathroom, come back, and it's already started.
12 minutes.
And it's just too much fishy stuff.
It is.
And they need to fix that because these guys, in college are playing their tail off, and that's where they're going. And I just feel like, I don't know. I know it's still huge.
I feel like the NBA got that way for a second, and then it got way more watchable because there was a lot more stars and more better teams.
Yeah.
But then now they're suffering on the load management thing. They got them playing too many games. Now these guys are like, screw this shit, man. I've got to sit out. I can't make – you got the injury stuff.
Yeah.
You don't ever know who's playing any night. It's kind of like the bowls.
Yeah. They tried the in-season tournament this year.
So, they're tinkering, man.
I don't know. It'll be
college football is the most watchable thing for sure.
Yep. Yeah.
I wouldn't have said that maybe 4 or 5 years ago because I love to watch sports.
Yeah.
I'm ready for golf, man.
Me too. It's golf. That's going to be our bread and butter. And then, building up next year to what Kiffin and Golden do.
Yeah.
They're winning the presidential election.
Yeah.
No doubt.
And we're going to have fun in the spring with basketball's off to a good start. We're going to have a look at the tournament. Our baseball, we're going to be good.
Yep.
We'll have a lot of good guys coming on. But
the portal, bottom line, we're killing it. And it's going to be fun. So, with the bowl games, we were sitting here talking, about, if we're going to put a prediction. You don't know anything really until game time almost.
No.
Or game day, who's going to play, because there's going to be so many sit-outs, all that. So all these other games is so hard.
Correct. We got the cryptic message yesterday, or I did, about the quarterback for UTSA didn't even play. Nobody knew. The quarterback, 2 hours for the game, out.
So
line dropped 6 points.
And you're going to see a lot of big line movements. Look at Missouri,
Ohio State.
Ohio State.
7-8 points because Ohio State's got nobody playing that's played all year.
I mean, I
love Missouri there. They're going to show up to play there, man.
And they want to win. They want to show the world it's so big for recruiting. And that running back's bad to the bone.
Yeah.
And so
quarterback's coming back. They got all that momentum going into next year. They don't care. They could care less. Ohio State ain't got people showing up. They're like, great, we want to beat them.
Well, we got the playoffs. We got Michigan and Alabama. And that's going to be probably the best game, I would think. The Rose Bowl, and is it the Rose Bowl? Rose Bowl, and then Texas and Washington, Sugar Bowl, and I think both of them are going to be great games. It's such a coin toss with Michigan, Alabama.
Yeah.
I think you have to do a little more.
Both lines to me are a little fishy.
Michigan -2 right now.
Yeah.
And Texas went to 4.5.
You got the ultra fan factor playing in here. You got two of the biggest fan bases in college football, where they're going to bet on them no matter what. Notre Dame's the only other one like that, where when they're really good, they got this following. Just like they can move a number a couple points knowing they're going to get heavy action, like an Alabama following. I mean, I swear that number is just a little bit down because they know they're going to get Bama. They're going to get hammered with people betting Bama.
Well, Portnoy putting $1 million on Michigan. I don't know if he's done it yet, but if he did, maybe that's why the line moved. But
I'm probably not playing that game, but I'd like the other game. I like Texas. I think that number tells you what's happening there. They're better. They're not giving Washington away like they did against Oregon again. I mean, they're better. They were a mismatch against Oregon. That was a dead giveaway game on the cover, and they scared all the smart money away on Oregon by making that line so high. They ain't no professional bet Washington +8 or 9 or whatever.
I just
think
I'm just different on that, and it's just a gut. I just feel like Washington's like a TCU, and I feel like they're going to beat Texas, and they're going to get killed in the championship game.
Yeah,
that's my prediction. I feel like they're going to beat Texas.
Yeah,
and
the majority's betting on Washington there.
Yeah, and
and I'm just like, I can't believe they put that over 3. I feel like they get the same deal with a 3-point favorite or 2-point favorite. Like, why was it over 3? That's a big number, man. It's a big favorite in that game.
Yeah, especially that game.
Because they went from ranked 6, they were higher than Washington too, and they went, into the playoff. Now all of a sudden they're 4 points better on a neutral field than Washington. Just smoked Oregon on a Washington field that they odds makers had way better than Washington.
Yeah,
I think Washington's got those holes, man. I think the reason they were just a complete mismatch for Oregon physically, they just overpowered them up front. It goes to show you it doesn't matter anything in football. If you crush them up front on the offensive line, defensive line, the rest of the game don't even damn matter. You can't even get plays off. Look at us against Georgia.
Yep.
It's like our playbook didn't exist. We weren't even watching the same team.
Well,
they're not doing that shit on Texas, man. Texas is huge. They're
big
studs up front. They manhandled Alabama up front the first game of the year.
I saw it because I was on was it Oklahoma State against Texas? Teased up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they
wasn't
just blew
even
them
close.
Out. That was the only one I lost in that teaser.
That's right.
And that's the only bet I lost since we've been doing the podcast.
Yeah.
My put your whole stack. Florida State over Louisville. That was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one. And
I like Texas there. I really do. I think that the way that playoff shook out, and we hadn't podcasted since.
Yeah.
The team that got screwed to me was Michigan. I thought Michigan should have got to play Washington in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
The old historic matchup.
Mm-hmm.
And because I felt like that was a better, doing both of them more of a favor. And then I thought the Alabama-Texas should have been the rematch. First game of the year. Now you got the rematch on the neutral field. They let them both in.
Yeah.
So they think they're one of the best. Let them play again.
Yeah.
That'd have been fun as shit down in the South. Now, I mean, I feel like Michigan's like, you
Yeah.
saw their room.
I agree.
That was all over Instagram. They were like, when they found out they were playing Alabama, because
Yeah.
they know, they were like, Jesus, dude, not only
I don't
did
know why they
they
wouldn't
get
do that.
in, we got to play them.
Makes so much sense.
See, nobody's talked about that, how
Mm-hmm.
they ended up ranking the 4. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That was weird to me. I just felt like, geez, if they thought Alabama, that's how I thought the committee could have gotten away with really catching it as much. If they'd have moved Alabama up higher than 4, been
Yes.
like, we weren't even considering them not being in after they smoked Georgia.
Correct.
That wasn't even a debate in our mind. The head-to-head against Texas was so long ago, just like the injury stuff, they take into consideration how you're playing.
That's exactly right.
That's in that criteria shit.
So-
That's what I've been screaming the whole time. Like, why has Bama not jumped Texas in that week 6 through 10 stretch when they are dominating and Texas is barely beating shitters?
Correct.
Just like Washington went on that stretch where they were barely beating all these teams they were way better than.
They were
You
losing
know, why are they
to Stanford
Yeah.
at halftime.
The only they were giving Alabama that hard time because it was fresh on their mind against Auburn. They didn't talk about, Washington barely beat Washington State. Then all those other close games Texas and Washington had in that middle stretch that they barely squeaked out. Oh, well, if that had been in week 12, y'all would have cared.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I was
get-
not even
But then
I
you
couldn't
go-
even really listen to the debate because first and foremost, Florida State being in debate is stupid. They're not one of the top 4. But I'm betting on them against Georgia.
Florida
Plus
State.
14.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we talked about
I'll
that
give you the
earlier.
4-pack in the podcast
Yeah.
today, and then you can post it.
Okay.
I got 4 good ones that I can put in now.
But then you say, what's happening at the time, and then Alabama almost loses to Auburn, should have lost.
Yeah.
But man, if they pull this off, if Bama pulls this off, that's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, because of how it went down.
Yeah.
To even get in, to even beat Auburn like that, maybe it's their
Dude,
time.
as many as they've won, dude, they've had a couple weird ones, like where they didn't look like they won or should have won and pulled it out, or the years you didn't think they were going to win it, they won it. Like, don't be surprised 1 second if they win it.
They got the best 4 teams to me.
I think so.
Well, Georgia,
As far as overall 4, maybe
Yes.
not, but at this time, like the way it all shook down, that should have probably
can't
been
put Florida State in there. I know that sucks.
Like
if
I
you're on
said,
them.
the one thing I would have changed is playing Bama against Texas. I
Yeah.
thought was how it should have been.
That's right. Well, the other 4 New Year's 6 bowls, we got Orange, Peach, Cotton, Fiesta. Orange Bowl, we got Florida State and Georgia. We just talked about that. Georgia minus 14. We got Cotton Bowl, Missouri. They're playing Ohio State. That's the line that Ohio State's announced. A bunch of their players aren't playing, so it's went from 7 to Missouri minus 1. We got the Fiesta Bowl, Liberty versus Oregon. Oregon minus 17.5. How did you like from going to playing the playoffs to playing Liberty?
Yeah, and they don't. And their quarterback, he's not playing right. He's out.
Bo
Or
Nix
playing
I'd have to look,
I
but
think
like
he's
you
out.
said, I don't take
for the
anything
draft.
until game time because you don't know. He could
Correct.
say that and still come back and play.
Mm-hmm.
So, and with Peach, here we go. We're going down to Atlanta, and we're playing Penn State. And last time we were there, we played TCU, and we got killed 42-3. And I got a funny story. Last time we went, and I always like to throw in a story. So we're in Atlanta, and I had a pretty good stack of money on me, and I had to give it to the big dog. And so it was $20,000. So I'm with some buddies and all that. We're having a good time, and my other two buddies, I was like, y'all want to make a couple $100? And I said, I need you to take this package to the big dog. And the Dream, as it is. They call it, their nicknames are the Dream.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, we'll make a couple $100. They're younger. They're younger guys. It's like, look now, you got to go. Here's where you got to go, and just give them the money. It's nothing sketchy besides it was his money. And so they're like, we'll do it. And I was like, okay. So I called the big dog and I said, look, I got two buddies. They're going to bring you your money. And he said, all right. So they taking the money and it's all good. And, we go to the game. We get killed and all that. And about a month later, we start getting a letter. They call me. They get a letter. Like, dude, I got a letter from the NCAA. Allegations in Ole Miss.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, what about what? And they're like, dude, do they think we were paying players? I was like, so here it comes. The kid's dad calls and you need to come up to my office. And so he goes up to the office and it was either NCAA or the Ole Miss head of allegations is sitting in his dad's office. This kid's like, what is going on? He's like, man, I just took some money to, who he told me to take it to. And so they start quizzing him. How much money was it? It's $20,000. They knew, everything.
Yeah. And
he's like, what about Robert Condici? He's like, what about him? He's like, you've never met Robert Condici? He's like, no. And so I'm sitting there. I'd been with Robert Condici a little bit before.
Yeah.
But I didn't give him anything.
Yeah.
And but this is kind of it's when a lot of stuff was going on.
Oh yeah, we were investigating.
But this was nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
Besides maybe the big dog, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it had nothing to do with it. And so they go through his phone.
Yeah.
And anyway, I get a call and I'm like, man, dude, I don't know what y'all are talking about. Like, this money has nothing to do with giving to Robert Kimdichie or anything like that. And, a little bit later, I was like, man, I don't know what's going to happen. He's scared to death. The dad's calling me, what in the world is this? And all that. I'm like, man, it's nothing. It was just, his money, and I had to give it to him. He was going to be in Atlanta. I was going to be in Atlanta, and, that was it. And so it went away. It finally, nothing came of it. And but it was like, man, what in the world? I'm like, big dog, what are we doing? You paying Kim Deach over here? Or you got to let me know. You got people following you.
They were following them. They couldn't figure it out. That's what got them so mad at us. They couldn't figure out the whole way we had it set up.
Yeah. It's pre-portal, pre-NIL.
Yeah.
Where a lot of stuff like, that went on. And I think that is a good thing now that, now it's just out and open. Yeah. And I still think it's still just, it's not even a contract, I don't think. Like, these players literally can get the money and say, I'm not going to play.
Yeah.
So, I just, I thought about that, and I was thinking about a good story, and I was like, I got it. Yeah. I got it, and it relates to the last time we were at the Peach Bowl. But
we got the shit beat out of us.
We got killed, man.
That was one of those years we were reeling into that game.
Yeah.
That's what's so hard about these years when you get have a good season like us and Mizzou, and it's hard to keep everybody healthy, and then actually get your whole team. Like, I mean, just look at what happened to us a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
We were just decimated, and then Corral goes down. We were already just banged up, though, man, like barely getting by those games down the stretch. We're not this year.
We're not this year, and I've been thinking, and the line's kind of throwing me off a little bit.
Me too.
With Penn State being favored by 4 now, and look, Penn State's good. I understand, and they're physical, but we are too. And I think we're out to prove something right now.
I do too.
And Dart is he's a competitor, man. That guy is such a competitor. And so, and like you said, I think we're going to get some players back. We're going to get healthy. And it's so big for us to go there and get a big win. Because then, bam, that's 11-2. Hey, here comes some more recruits.
Yeah.
So
it's huge for us to win this game, man, with everything we got going on and all that momentum we got built in the portal.
Mm-hmm.
Then we go, nip off somebody like Penn State, who's got that storied program, and they're clearly favored. I think the reason they're favored is because of our offensive line woes at the end of the year, and they're so strong defensively in that front seven, even though their top defensive lineman opted out for the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Their number one ranked player on the defensive side of the ball. So that helps.
Yes.
But the line didn't change. Even that day that it all came out, now it's moved up even.
There's probably not a lot of action on that game so far.
I don't think so either.
I would think, yes, sharp action. I think we're going to get on Penn State early.
Yeah.
Just to take that chance.
Mm-hmm. Because they're ranked higher.
That's correct. And
we didn't look great against. Think about how bad we looked on TV against State, and then they looked great the last week.
Mm-hmm.
You have to always take that into account.
Correct.
Like we talked about on those college lines, they're trying to get that even action, especially in these bowls. This is one of the few games where you got most guys playing.
That's right.
I think if we'd have played Penn State like the week after we played Mississippi State or a couple weeks ago, I don't think we'd had any chance of beating them because I don't think we could have blocked them. But I think we got that extra time on the offensive line to come up with a plan, and I just think this game's important to us. I think we really want to win, which is huge in the bowls. That's always been a good criteria for picking bowl teams. Who wants to be there, who doesn't? Because you've always had that lag. They go home. Do they care? Now you got the portal. Like the bowl games are awful now. I mean, they're non-existent.
They are.
It killed it.
Not
that they were even ever that great besides a few anyway. I thought about that earlier. I was like kind of like, oh, man, they killed the bowls. I was like, but I think back, I'm like, there was never really that many bowls anyway. You were always hoping to get a good matchup here and there because it was always a conference tie-in thing. So we're always playing a Big Ten. You never got great matchups. You get lucky here and there. So I don't think it's much different. Now the difference is you just don't know who's playing and not playing, and a lot of good players don't play, which ticks people off, but it's whatever.
Mm-hmm. Well,
the playoff expansion next year is going to be great.
It is. It's going to be really good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be, there'll be some money thrown around for those big games. And I'm not even talking about betting. I'm just talking about made. And that's what, that's obviously what the NCAA wants and all that. But it's going to be good.
Yeah.
And so, you want to put your 4-pack out?
I'll do it later.
Okay. Well, I wanted to talk a little basketball. We don't have to get too much into it, but I mean we're 10-0 or 11-0 now.
11-0 now.
We're 11-0 now.
Rolling.
We've always, like we said from the get-go, Beard, he's unbelievable. We got, and you called it. You're like, we're long, we're fast, we're athletic, and every player is in on it. I mean, I don't know if that's, but we got 3 guys averaging over 14 points.
Yeah.
Flanagan,
Morrell,
and
the point
Murray.
guard. Yep.
I love Murray, man.
Yeah.
And
he came up big in Memphis to prove we got a different closer than who can carry the load during the game.
Correct.
That was huge. That game was a turning point.
I went to that game.
You know, we
And
beat NC State before on TV, but then Memphis, they're better than us. I mean,
They're good.
they're already ranked in front of us, and we
Mhm.
beat them, and they got 2 losses just a couple weeks ago. I text y'all during the game and said, these some bitches right here are going to make a run in the tournament. You mark it down right now.
Yes.
They're loaded with transfers, and they're just going to get mold, more and more.
With the transfer portal, we've said it. The more games, more experience, you get better during the year.
And Ole Miss, same way.
Yes.
I think our 6 or 7 of our guys that play the most minutes are transfers.
Correct.
So
and in
we're
basketball,
molding more.
really, I mean, it's all, but playing together and learning each other. But with Flanagan, Murray,
And Morrell,
Morrell, and then we got
2 7-footers.
2 7-footers. And since we got Cisse back, I feel like he's more physical.
Yes.
And,
We have
more,
so much versatility now in what we can do.
but just
And then
having
our
2
guards,
big guys like
having
that.
those big guards too. I mean, shit, we can run any
Beard
defense.
is so good at rotating them.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing I love about Beard, he is so calm.
Yeah,
He coaches. He
Yeah.
doesn't scream. He doesn't yell. And there might be a time where he just kind of puts a little something on you, but he's
way more calculating than you knew he was until you saw him live.
correct.
You would assume that he's kind of more high-strung than he is because most basketball coaches are wired that way.
Yeah.
They have to be. They're all more intense, and because it's back and forth. They're having to coach more. They get to coach more. They have way more influence on games and calling plays and changing defenses, and they're active. But he's more calculating.
Yeah, but now thinking back on it, because we got to hang out with him a little bit, and
He's chill, man.
he's chill,
laid back, man.
He is chill.
Yeah,
And
he listens, and
That's correct.
you can tell he's very smart
He's all about Ole
because
Miss.
he took Texas Tech from a nobody to a freaking they were in the up in the mix every year. Almost in the final. I think they did make a Final Four under him. Then obviously Texas swooped him away and all that bullshit, whatever. That was stupid for them to get rid of him.
Yes, we talked about that.
So
but
now, boom, we got him.
Yeah,
Good
hoops.
luck anybody getting him.
hoops in the sip, and that we're about to put that out. We're going to wait till next year, right after Christmas probably, and put that out because we just had so much. We got this, and this is going to be a good one. Everybody, we got a lot of people buying it. We're going to start making them tomorrow. But the hoops in the sip and getting that out, because I think we're going to have something special, this year with the basketball. We're going to get to experience it again.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, it's coming.
Yeah.
So
Keith Carter days, man.
correct. And it's loud in there. He's got the kids so motivated. He's trying so hard, man. He is trying so hard.
That's huge in basketball.
Yes. So everybody that can, y'all try to make a game, and the students are doing their part. I was there, Memphis game, and they were loud. It was loud in there.
Mm-hmm.
So and that's so key. We've talked about it in football, and I know it's harder to do in Oxford. It's just because we don't have the people that these other people have, or the huge towns around them.
Yep.
That can feed. I mean, we got Jackson and Memphis.
Yeah.
That's it. And
That's
there's
still
a base of Ole Miss fans in Memphis, but I it's not that big.
That's right.
I would think Madison down here would be more than Memphis pulls, but I'm not sure. It's just hard, and I've had to kind of really come to grips with that.
Yeah.
Because it bothers me.
But if we can get that crowd in there, that shit's huge in basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it in ACC when I went to school because North Carolina, we had the biggest gym, but we had the worst crowd.
Mm-hmm.
They used to call it the wine and cheese crowd. We just sat down the whole game but only stood up during runs. It's kind of like the Ole Miss football.
Correct.
Okay, they were known for it. Then 7 miles down the road, you got Duke in this little chapel with 6,000 people, and it's nuts.
Yes.
It's 80% students, and they barely give a ticket away to a non-student versus North Carolina, 90% money people.
Correct.
The students weren't even up on the court. It's changed a little bit, but when I went to school there, it wasn't crazy up in there. It was when we were on runs and
Mm-hmm.
it get loud when we're
Correct.
want to play them well. But
Dude.
shit, we'd be sitting down a lot.
Duke gets loud the whole game, just like it was.
Yeah, I mean, we get
played Georgia
upset
at football
at home every year by somebody who wasn't supposed to beat us. They would just quiet us early, and then we just kind of got in that lull, and shit matters,
Oh, it
especially in
matters, man.
basketball, man.
You see it.
It's all about runs.
You see it, man. When we get loud in that Memphis game, man, those players feed off of it, and we've talked about it a million times.
Yeah.
So, good things, building culture, just like Beard says.
Yeah.
A lot of good things going on at Ole Miss. So, I think we can just kind of wrap it up with kind of where we're going and what we're going to do. And we've talked about it before, but this is going to be, this season finale, and we're going to come back in January sometime. We're going to get to work on making sure we get all this stuff shipped out and trying to get everybody's order before Christmas. We did, we said we had a little trouble right when we started this year.
That's been smoothed over.
Yeah, smoothed over. We transitioned, and, we're working hard to get this going good.
Mm-hmm.
Think we probably going to have a company come in to manage just the emails and like the customer service part, because that's something that we're not that good at, and I just admit it. Just because we don't have somebody, it's basically me on the phone trying to do it. And we need to get to where they can just answer our emails or stuff like that. So we got that kind of coming. Travis has learned a lot, and steadily learning to make this production better. So, and we're going to steadily put out merch and different type of merch, not just SIP. We've said that, but our big thing is going to be golf.
Yep.
And we're going to get together after Christmas, sometime in January, me and we. We're going to be going to a lot of these big tournaments in Mississippi.
Boys in the SIP golf tour, baby.
Yep, Boys in the SIP golf tour. We're going to put on a golf tournament, but we've been playing the same golf tournaments for a long time.
We're going to set up the podcast at 8 to 12 of the best Calcutta side pot events around Mississippi.
Correct.
3-man scramble, 6-man scramble, some 4 balls, some individual stuff.
The one individual will 100%.
Greenwood.
Greenwood Invitational is the best invitational. I'd put it up against I know there's a lot of really good known in the country, but if you've never played and you're a good golfer in the Greenwood Invitational, you are missing out. It is. We've been doing it since we, 18 years old.
Yeah.
And it's so fun, and all of us still come back. And now, when we were young, all the older men were coming, and they were, buying us in the Calcutta, and now it's changed, and that's what we're doing, and we're trying to get a lot of these young good players, and some of them are coming.
Yeah.
And you got to be able to beat Joe Durante, though.
Yeah,
Goodness gracious, 25 under, 26 under. It's fun because you can make a lot of birdies out there.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a good one. But these 6-mans, which it's so fun, and there's some good golf. We're going to talk to, these 6-mans. So we've kind of struggled not struggled. We've won, but the Calcuttas are kind of, what's going on with some of these, they're getting up there.
Getting top heavy. Yeah.
And
so now we got the side pots we started last year. That's going to be a good little addition to some of these tournaments that are top heavy.
Correct.
To clear out some of those teams into their own deal, which everybody that's been to these events knows what we're talking about.
Correct.
And they'll be explained in the next season when we're live and we talk about Boys and SIP Tour and the side pot during the tournaments.
Correct.
And how they work, and it'll help us get some teams too.
No doubt. And
because we need some more top tier teams. We got a lot of TikTok challenges coming up. We're going to be recording all of our matches.
We got a TikTok challenge right now off that first one I posted. And I was talking to them the other night, and they haven't got back with me, but obviously it's some Alabama boys.
Want to play at Fallen Oak?
Yes, if we play one match, they want to do it at Fallen Oak, so that'll be fun. That's down at Biloxi at the Beau Rivage. I think we could do a pretty good little match right there. So just stuff like that, and then we're going to try to put out a golf line, and then we're going to do SIP golf polos.
We got some Colonel Revs coming out. Get ready for the Colonel.
Little silhouette. I don't know. We're still pondering, but little silhouette and then the SIP on the sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
I think that'll be a good little golf shirt. And we got golf towels. And then, y'all see the merch hats. The number one hat.
Camo.
That camo, man. People are loving it. So, last minute, I believe, Christmas Monday. I mean, if you order today, maybe tomorrow, you could get it. We might could get it to you.
We'll be steady shipping all week.
Yeah. So
if it comes in and dings, just going.
Yeah,
I'm going out.
We're gonna sit up here after this and go through some of all this old stuff. See, Wee Wee's wearing. He loves that one. I do too. It didn't hit.
This is the one Lane wore on the Pine Bomb
on
show.
Pine Bomb. I got it to him.
Yeah.
And he wore it. And I love it. And it was based off, the LFG, which, and so it's just the SIP, Southeastern Conference SIP. It's our conference.
Yeah.
And but we got a bunch of them. We're gonna put those on sale. I'm gonna try to do that today. And
we're gonna have a dart sale.
Another thing, one more thing too. I'm gonna be moving. So we got one thing I've heard. We got two. And people are gonna learn. But we got a Boyz in the SIP Instagram. Basically, and I was just figured, to put, that's where we're going to put like podcasts, different like that, and then we have the Boyz and SIP store. But I'm going to combine it. So, and I put it on Instagram. But it's all going to be on the Boyz and the SIP store. That profile, it'll just be called Boyz and the SIP. I'm gonna wait till I can kind of change it. But that's because that's where most of the following is, and trying to grow. So it won't be like having to go here to do this, having to go here to do this. Everybody knows there's a store. It's in the link, and so that's easy to find once you're following that.
Yeah.
And so if you are just following Boyz and SIP, not Boyz in the SIP store, go follow Boyz in the SIP store, and eventually once I kind of see
that moving, you'll flip it all.
Correct. So we're gonna have some good content. We got a guest list that we've been working on, and that's another thing. In January, we're gonna get on the ball.
Yeah.
Of lining them up, even if it's lining them up in March, April, June.
We'll
go ahead.
Yes. Along with the golf tour.
Correct.
That's what we'll be working on for the next month.
So
along with the new merch.
Correct.
It'll go by fast.
Well, man, it's been fun. I can't wait till next year. We appreciate everybody that's been watching, and we're gonna steadily try to get better and grow. Appreciate everybody that's buying merch, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and
thanks for tuning in.
Let's go down there and whip Penn State, and let's just keep this culture going.
We're gonna whip Penn State's ass.
Yep, let's do it.
Hotty toddy.
All right, hotty toddy.
LSU.